theater buffs, if you are looking for something to ignite your imagination, well, Quixote Nuevo is the ticket. We were lucky to grab a few minutes between rehearsals with actors Ernie Gonzalez Jr. and Herbert Siguenza. Take a look.
For those of our viewers not familiar with the Don Quixote story, fill us in and explain the Quixote Nuevo twist.
Well, like most Americans, they haven't read Don Quixote, which is a 16th century novel by Cervantes. This is a book that's still a bestseller after 500 years, you know, because it's a magical book about persistence, about tenacity, about dreams. You know, this is a man that thinks he can become a knight and save the love of his life in the Spanish countryside. What Octavio Solis has done, the playwright, he has set this story in southern Texas, right at the border. Quixote or Quijano, this old man is got dementia, and he's read Don Quixote. He's a literary professor, and he suddenly becomes Don Quixote and wants to break down the wall. Like in the original, he chases windmills, but here he chases the border wall. It has a political contemporary twist to it, yes.
How do you identify with Don Quijano?
Well, I've also lost my mind, but you know, well, you know, as actors, we impersonate people all the time, right? And it gets pretty real sometimes. Sometimes I don't know if I'm on stage or not. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to Quijano, a man that thinks he is somebody else. Yes.
Once I was Quijano, but now I am.
I'm going to switch it over to Ernie. Ernie, this speaks to both you and I. You're from El Paso, which is border town. My family's in Del Rio, Texas, which is a border town. This is right up our alley. Let's talk about Don Quijano's trusty sidekick here. There is an art to playing a really engaging supporting role. How are you capturing and portraying that role?
You know, that's actually my favorite part of Manny, the character I play, who he turns into Sancho Panza. Is, you know, he's just a blue collar every day. He's a paletero. He sells popsicles, and he comes upon his neighbor and community member in distress, and goes along for the ride to take care of him. You know, talk about like being selfless and making the right choice. So, you know, I think the art to playing a supporting role is to just do that, support. And, you know, I think in life, you are always at your best when you are in service of others or, you know, in service. And so I just kind of take all my cues from this guy, and I just...
Okay, let's bring Tejano music into this, because that plays an important role in the play, and it helps also convey kind of a cultural message. What do you think that message is, Ernie?
Well, you know, I'm from Texas, so Tejano music isn't Tejano music, it's just music. And it's just lively and fun and rooted in the regional space that we live in and that this play is about. And our music guy, David Molina, is just genius.
Yeah, it's great. Great music.
Yeah, so he pretty much he wrote all the music, played all the instruments, the traditional instruments, you know, used, and some that he made his own. So I think the message is it's just universal. Like, it's just, I think everyone is just gonna love this music, this play. It's a feast for your eyes, for your ears, and for your heart.
Oh, I love it.
Musical, but it's pretty close to the musical. It's a play with music, yeah.
And that always adds so much emotion. Well, why do you think audiences should see Quixote Nuevo?
Well, I think it's a revisiting of a classic. It's a fairy tale that's universal, that's classic, and there's just going to get a whole new perspective. And I think, you know, theater's about humanizing people, and Latinos, as you know, are constantly dehumanized, victimized in the press. And this is another way of showing the cultural, the positive aspects of Latinidad, and not the you know, negative aspects.
It's a story about redemption, forgiveness, love, friendship. There's just really something My question for you is, when are you coming?
Yeah.
I just want to meet you guys. You seem like so much fun.
We can get you a free ticket. We know somebody.
Now we're talking. Okay, well, I can't wait to meet you guys. Don Quixote Nuevo, please check it out. I'm going to give everyone some info on how they can get their tickets. Good to see you guys.
I will see you soon.
Tickets are available now for Quixote Nuevo on stage through June the 12th at the Wolf Theater. Get tickets online at denvercenter.org.